Mr. Jenkins.
Let me see if we're grabbing.
Yeah. All right.
All right, good evening, everyone. I'm going to start tonight's meeting of the Historic District Commission on Tuesday, January 16th. It is currently 7 o'clock, and due to the absence of some members, I'm going to appoint Ted and John as full members for tonight's meeting. So for now, I'd request that Mr. Brady read our public notice of hearing, please.
Town of Groton Notice of Public Hearing, Historic District Commission. The Historic District Commission will hold a public hearing on Tuesday, January 16th, 2024 at 7 p.m. at the Groton Town Hall Annex, 134 Groton Long Point Road. And virtually via the Zoom platform to hear the following applications requesting a certificate of appropriateness. HDC 23-0040, 148 High Street, Josh Greco, applicant, Anna Troiano, owner, tank placement, PIN number 2619183181. ACC 23-0041, 15 Gravel Street, David Atkinson, applicant, Mary Rodriguez, owner, garage renovations, addition, PIN number 261918412428. HCC 24-0001, 132 Cliff Street, Peter Springsteel, applicant, Amy and Russell Grace, owners, addition of roof railing and deck, window, and door replacements, PIN number 261918412428. ACC 24-0002, 1 Water Street, Peter Springsteel, applicant, Ed Cassidy, owner, HVAC screening, PIN number 261918308788. A Zoom meeting link will be posted to the town's website meetings calendar. Applications are on file and available for public inspection during normal business hours at the Planning Department, 134 Groton Long Point Road, Groton, Connecticut. Dated this 9th day of January, 2024 at Groton, Connecticut, Todd Brady, Secretary.
Thank you. We're going to waive the hearing procedures. If you wanted to read them, they're the yellow copy on that side table right there. And for now, we're just going to get right to it, and we'll start with HDC 23-0037, 105 River Road, James Cambria, applicant, Leah Hartman, owner.
I'm James Cambria, owner of Cambria Enterprises Building Remodeling. I first wanted to say I apologize that we're here at this point of after work got started already. It came to my attention that nothing was filed, but everything is in order now. I plan on replacing 14 windows, like for like, same size, same definition and everything. I'm looking to move forward with this if possible, and if you have any questions for me, I can answer them.
As if I can just add real quick, I believe there's some additional items that were provided to Susan that are not in the agenda packet that you guys may want to review.
Are they in here?
I think so, yeah.
There were some photos that weren't uploaded. I do have them on my phone of the original. There are some copies.
Tim, do you think, can you call up what he's got and then he can go through that and then we'll add this?
Well, do you have anything
you bring anything with you
currently?
I have nothing with me.
All right.
She said it was in the files already.
Okay.
So why don't the commission take a look at it, and then we'll hand over the file to him, and he can go through it.
Okay.
So just be patient with us while we take a look at the new stuff that you.
Before we go further though, if it's like for like, why does he need a COA? You don't need a COA for like for like.
Well, I'm sure it's not exactly like for like. window wise?
Yeah, I would say that you probably want to
These are new windows.
get a description of what's being installed and what's currently there, make a judgment as to
So-
whether you consider it like for like and
noticed
and
that
warrants
not
actual
in there.
review.
Yeah, I agree. Because the windows that are in there now are old original windows,
Yes.
right? So he's putting in replacement windows, so we should
Right,
see.
so you're putting in
I'm
newer
putting in
windows, right?
replica
Modern.
windows of Anderson's that were approved in the past with an addition with Mercer and Birchie. Should have been uploaded in the file of the original edition. And meeting.
Well, personally, I still think, are there photographs in here?
No, none of this is in the,
So there were supposed to be some additional photographs provided this morning and they didn't come they were sent, they
I
weren't
sent them out
received.
and they
Yeah.
weren't received.
do you know
I
what the
got
additional
call.
photos were, Tim?
I do not know. It would be, he could probably describe.
The windows were original pictures.
Of the original windows that were
Yeah.
removed or being
Yes.
removed?
Yes.
I mean, none of this is in there if you want him to.
And just
Go
to
over it with us.
clarify, when you say like for like, if it's a 2/2, you're putting in
It
a
was
2/6
6/6 with an exterior grill.
Okay, and you're replacing it with a
Replacing the
6/6.
6/6 exterior grill.
Yeah, so none of this is
There's
in our
nothing in here.
electronic packet. So I don't know if you want to have him present it.
So there's no photographs available for us to look at at all,
There were
right?
supposed to be photographs.
But
that
that
I
you
dropped-
just submitted them
I
today.
dropped off today.
So
They were supposed to be in the file.
Did you drop them off for Susan today?
I dropped off blueprints of the actual windows before that. The windows that I did
Like a
try.
spec sheet?
So I think that's in there.
I think
Spec sheet was in
that's in there. I don't think there's any actual photographs of like an actual still photo of the building.
I do have them on my phone.
Yeah, and I think Susan was expecting them. She told me she was expecting them this morning, and as of late this afternoon, she said she never got them.
She called me about 4:15.
Yeah.
And I called her. We played phone tag a little bit
Okay.
and
So what you guys have, what has been provided?
Yeah, I'm just saying some of what's in here is not on the electronic.
Correct,
agenda this week.
correct.
That's what I was.
Yep, yeah, there are items in there that came in subsequent to the agenda package going on.
So my suggestion is, so it's on the record, you should present it.
I would agree.
Yep.
Yep. And he can detail what each item is that he did present.
So I'll give him this.
Yeah.
I think so. Now you're gonna
So
have,
James, I'm gonna switch it over.
Okay.
And it's gonna come up,
so you're
all
gonna
right,
put these
and
down
you're gonna,
see how
on the table.
present.
But look above you. There's the
okay.
camera.
You wanna
do
turn
them
them
one
and
at
you
a
wanna
time.
present them so they present to the commission if you can.
Just sort of go through it page by page.
is that the way you go?
Yep, that's right.
So the drawings that are here are.
Just don't put them, don't try to spread them out like that. Just
Okay.
do them.
He's gonna zoom in.
One at a time. I'm trying to zoom, but
Okay,
my
I'm
zoom is
sorry.
not.
Mr. Caper, if I could make a suggestion, just
Yes.
do one page at a time and give us a quick recap. So it's on the film.
And just for the Leah Hartman, that's her hand raised as an attendee, I believe.
The homeowner is.
Yeah, she's got her hand raised, Tim.
All right, you recognize her hands. See, oh, she just took it down.
Cause she's over an
Is
attendee.
she a panelist? Or
Attendee.
attendees?
Oh,
She's muted.
yep.
Yeah,
Or
she's
should she
good.
unmute?
She should
Okay.
be good.
Think you've unmuted me?
Yep.
Yes.
Thank you, gentlemen. I too would like to provide my apologies for not seeking your pre-approval for these 6/6 replacement windows. We've been to Historic District Commission in the past for 2 additions where the outside really did change. And so again, our apologies for on behalf of the team here. I provided you drawings from the 2014 remodel, which you had approved, which do show windows that were replaced at the time. And those are drawn with dashed lines around them. And the others then I have highlighted in yellow, which James Cambria will show you, are the replacement windows that we're seeking your approval. Again, we're replacing a light of 6/6 with 6/6. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Okay.
You have the floor.
So what I'm replacing them with is a Harvey new construction window, exterior grills, vinyl. Basically, and that's about it with the grills.
Well, the simulated divided lights
Yes, on the exterior.
on the outside.
Yeah.
So the grills are not between the glass,
No,
or maybe they are, but there's some on the
they
outside too.
they are on the inside, but the outside there are on the exterior. Moving forward with basically the process of what I'm doing is removing 14 shutters and windows. Installing the framing needed for the opening of Douglas fir, water and ice barrier going through, window tape on all flanges, and basically PVC trim with paint, one coat of paint on it, and shutters going back on some
I
of
mean,
the
like
windows.
AZAC trim, but
AZAC trim, yes.
That matches the trim on the other windows.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes, it matches everything on the windows. Exactly. Also, I'm going to be removing and replacing a little an overhang over the front door. Like for like, the exact same thing, one coat of paint, as it's rotting and deteriorating away.
Was there a picture of that? I think I remember seeing a picture of that at some point.
I believe everything that I gave was supposed to be.
I remember
seeing
seeing a picture of the little cheek.
you know, and all the trim's going to be like for like, and all the paint the same colors. What the homeowner was talking about is the 14 windows would be. This is the addition that was approved in the past. With this window also, we are replacing these two windows on the north side, which shows right there. And then here's a picture.
If you pick speaker view up there, I think it'll make Leah's thing smaller. Is that possible?
Where at?
Where it says view in the upper right, Ken?
Up in here?
No,
Back.
A little
Right here?
grid,
right
yep.
there. You can hit speaker and then
It makes her big. Or
well,
it might,
yeah, I was hoping to make him big.
I might be able to make the gallery big, right? And the view.
You would have
Full
to.
screen?
That's
I mean,
better.
That's better, so.
Because that's as much as you can zoom in, Tim.
Yeah, either the zoom is not, it did go in a little bit, but I don't know if the battery.
So, and you see that it says mute and then the dot. Tim?
Right here for her. That's us.
Yeah, I know. Pick those dots.
Yeah.
And can you say pin? You see, go far down so it says pin.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. Okay.
And now we get a pretty good view, huh?
Yeah.
A lucky guess.
Thanks, Ted.
That was a lucky guess. Very impressive.
So all the highlighted windows are the ones that are being replaced.
And in a previous application, other windows had been replaced? Yes or no?
Yes.
And are these windows that you're using now the same windows as were used to replace the previous
No,
windows?
they're Anderson. What were used before were Anderson, and what I'm using now is Harvey, which is the same, basically a replica, but
the Anderson window was probably a wood window that was clad, right?
it wasn't. No.
It was an Anderson vinyl window?
Yep. Yes, they're all vinyl.
Geez, I never heard of such a thing.
Yeah.
Is this the front or the back of the house?
That is the front of the house. So the front of the house would be all these in the front. This is to the side. And then the two lower kitchen windows. And then there's one underneath the overhang that's hidden that we're doing there also.
So I don't mean to belabor the point, but are these Harvey windows going to look the same as the Anderson windows?
Yes, they do. Yes, they do.
Because they're, in some cases, going to be appearing on the same side of the house, correct?
Yes, they do.
Next to each other?
Yes. They look exactly alike. The biggest difference was the price, honestly. About $500-600 per window.
For the,
Comparison of the Andersons to Harvey's.
So how many windows? Those are, we can see all the windows in that drawing that you're gonna.
You can see all the windows in that drawing except for the 2 windows on the north side.
Slide it down a little more.
Yep.
There you go.
Which are
What?
these 2 windows here.
Yeah.
Also, there's 2 windows right here on the driveway side that are getting replaced. That is not highlighted.
So that's 14.
So you want to circle or highlight those? Or don't, right? Do we want to know all the ones?
Yeah, we do.
Yeah. Do you need a pen?
Yes. My pen, here's a red. If you want to do it in red.
Yeah, do it.
Is that your phone?
Yeah, it did.
where'd it go?
Oh, yeah.
Thanks.
So James, do you mind? So you got 14 windows. They're all the same size.
Yes.
And you indicated where they're all going.
Yes.
And you showed us a spec sheet or something.
In the beginning.
Yeah, that was in the beginning.
So do we need more stuff?
That's up to you guys.
What else would we need?
I do have before pictures on my phone.
So
Well,
as
Go ahead.
he was talking about, as I'm thinking about it. So Dave had the stop work, correct?
They did.
Yeah.
When I went out there the same time I went out for the chimney next door, and he was on site working on the chimney. And I walked around with him and he said, no problem, we'll stop and make sure that everybody's good with what.
So this is just my thought process. You know, without the before pictures at first, I was thinking maybe just, it's okay pending seeing the pictures. The only thing I'm a little stuck on is we've got 2 different brand windows next to each other. And I'm sure he says they look the same, but if we don't know they look the same, I think that's.
well, yeah, the issue there is, you know, are the frames the same size? Are the muttons the same size?
Right.
Yes.
But we don't have something to compare them.
Exactly. And I feel bad because they've stopped, but on the other hand, it's like that's
right. And for better or for worse, we also don't have the photographs.
Right.
So I'm a little uneasy about
What would you
moving
like me-
forward with this and voting on it, because it's based on, you're saying they're the same,
Okay.
but
Yeah.
I don't mean
So-
to doubt your, you know,
For the Andersons, I would have to go back and get the specs of those.
that's right. And just so we
And
can
bring
put
in the
them
specs.
next to each other, because it's unusual to have 2 different kinds of replacement windows sitting next to each other. It's not that we don't have houses that have new replacement windows and they haven't replaced all of them, which is one thing, but that's something you can't really change. But in this case, we've already replaced some of the windows, one brand, now we're replacing with another brand. And so it just leads me to be a little bit concerned that, in fact, are they the same? Because they're sitting next to each other.
and Mr. Kimber too. I think we don't see actual photographs.
What I'll
not
do
just
is
spec
I'll
sheets.
take some more pictures of the ones that were installed compared next to the Andersons that are there. And see if I can get together the spec sheets for the Andersons that have been installed in the past.
Okay, and I think Ms. Hart want to say something?
Yes, can you unmute me? Or you can hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. I just would like to call out one more window on the north elevation, and it's in the lower brick level, below what is shown in the 2014 drawing as the new window. So if you can you point to that in the brick, James, on the north elevation? There's a basement window that makes number 14. That's where your hand is, James, right? Go down to the basement.
Yeah, that one right
That's
there.
that is the 14th window there.
Here, circle that one too, eh?
Yes. All right. And so because we had a stop order, we can show you via a photograph it's the south side, because those two upper level elevations there, if you look to the east elevation, the lower drawing, the upper two that James circled with pen were replaced before the stop order, and we can show you the difference. One, I'd point out that Harvey is a northeast-based manufacturer. I personally like supporting a regional manufacturer. But secondly, great care was taken in the measurement of the grid and to match. I mean, I take great pride in my house. And that trying to put something that looks different and hodgepodge is not my intention at all. A correction to the record, there were not replacement windows done in the 2014 edition. There were new windows placed in the stairwell, which were Anderson. They were vinyl clad, which was what was stated to the record.
So they were vinyl clad windows, not 100% vinyl windows, correct?
Whatever the comparable, because James saw the specs on the Anderson windows and offered me two quotations, Harvey and Anderson. We went with the Anderson. We did not go with the Anderson in part because of price, but I was insistent that the grid would extrude into the outdoor area. I don't know if it's Muttons or mullions. I get them mixed up, right? So the permanently affixed grid to the outside of the window is in place. And so there is, if you went to touch the outside of the windows, the old ones that are Anderson, the new one, which would be Harvey, and then there's the very old ones above the awning on the deck side. Those two very small ones are not being replaced. They too would have extruding grids to the exterior of the home.
Okay, so what I think you should do now is, if it were me, I would put all of this information together in one package and just resubmit it. So we've got it all together and then it's in the system. I mean,
Okay.
you get that in by, but you really have to get that in now. Yeah. Like by when, well, what's today?
Tuesday.
So by Thursday.
By Thursday morning. Do you think you can do that? Including photographs of the house and photographs of the windows that are, you put a couple of these Harvey windows in, right?
Yes, we have.
So photograph of the Harvey window next to a photograph of the Anderson window.
Yep.
I think the south elevation would give you the most direct comparison because it's two, and then the prior owner did have replacement Anderson windows. Those two lower on the south elevation were done by the Biddles prior to my purchase of the home in 14.
Okay, and then if you're going to resubmit, then you can mark up. You can take the yellow highlight and highlight all of them, so they're all the same.
I will have the pictures because
Okay.
I was notified later today. At the end of the day, they didn't get uploaded, so I'll make sure everything's in line for sure and try to get those.
And that's that's all you're doing
That's all we're
for
doing
now. Okay.
No, other than that, and any replacement siding that we need to fix when the windows come out.
So if I can just add real quick, these are not replacement windows in the traditional sense that the buck stays in and just the sash comes out and it's an insert. These are actually new construction windows that are going in.
They got the fins.
They got lower, they got nail and flins. They have a lower frame style. It's not like a traditional vinyl window buck that's going to go into an existing where you lose a lot of glazing area. I observed that when I was out there. If it's just, for the commission's record, I didn't see a distinguishable difference between the window that went in and the existing windows, but that ultimately is up to you guys to provide. But you guys can continue this if you want to continue it, and then you don't wait to get the stuff in, but you won't be held to the Thursday deadline. But you do want to get the stuff in because we will forward it to the commission members extensively before the continuation of your hearing to give them time to review the information. And not at the last minute or actually here trying to sort through it.
Thank you for the opportunity again.
My only suggestion on all this is just double check the windows that are highlighted and things, because I count 15. You said 14. So,
I believe there was an extra window,
okay, so
that
that's
came in the order, so I believe I'll
So-
go check all
so
that
that's
and make
the-
sure that it's.
just reading what you
It-
wrote.
Can I
versus-
speak?
Yep.
Sure.
Yeah, thank you. So there was a window that came that was missized. And we're just going to put it in the basement. That's why I called out that north side elevation with that lower basement. So the original application was for 14 until the window showed up and one's the wrong size.
I could make this comparison from the street if I was looking up at the house and see the two windows, the new and the old one.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Sure.
Okay.
Okay,
So I think we should gather everything, your homework assignment, so to speak, and we'll just continue it.
I appreciate it. Thank you. I'll make sure I'll get everything
Just,
in line.
are they requesting a continuance or are we gonna motion a continuance?
I think we do that.
I'm gonna motion.
Just ask them. We'll do it either way.
Yeah. I'll just go on to the next one. And
Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Well, you should probably motion to continue his public hearing and keep it open
Oh, okay.
before you moved on to the next one.
All right. So I'm gonna make a motion to continue this. This
motion to continue
HDC.
HDC 23-0037.
Correct. That's
Brady second.
all right.
Goodrich, aye.
Brady, aye.
Ferguson, I.
Keatsman, aye.
So
Thank you.
Thank you.
thank you.
And gentlemen, will this be continued to the next hearing date?
Correct.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
the immediately next. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
you.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll move on now to public hearing HDC 23-0040 148 High Street. Josh Greco, applicant, Anna Troiano, owner. I think Anna's on.
Yeah, she was up there.
He's an attendee.
One of the participants?
Yeah. Unmuted.
Hi,
Good evening, Anna.
hi, can you see me?
We can't see you, but
We see
we
your
can
name.
hear you.
Oh,
Just
I wonder why.
Just state your name and your
Or
address.
is it
and-
from our end? Do we have to see her?
No. it's
Yeah,
not.
I have pictures to show you. So,
You guys have those?
I have them. That's why I'm concerned.
Normally you go through a share your screen
Can you click share? Can you
There's
click
a
share
share.
your screen?
or not your screen. There's a share button down there in the
Yeah.
bottom. You see it's a share screen. It's
Yeah.
the middle of the screen at the bottom border. Looks really big to us.
Not big over here.
You know, you raised your hand, so it's just to the left of the raise your hand icon.
It just says mute to the left.
Yeah, then you move over to the right. You pull,
Show
sometimes you have to pull your
captions.
cursor all the way down to the bottom border to get these things to even show up.
Full screen.
Are you you're on a laptop or
Lap-
desktop,
Yes, yeah,
and you're obviously in Zoom.
yes. I can see you. I wonder if I should sign out and
Why don't we come back to her and leave her on the screen?
Yeah.
And then when she comes back on the thing, Peter or David can give their
Okay.
in person.
Sure.
okay.
All right. So we're gonna mute you.
But she should try to find her share the screen.
Right.
But
Right.
That's what she's gonna do while the other people present.
okay,
Mm.
you
But
gonna
how
give her
will
any
she know
advice
if
on
it
how to do
works?
that?
We did.
You did?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a bit vague.
But if we do that, how's she gonna know if it works? Because we won't know.
Well, let's leave her up on the
Well,
screen.
She's gone, I think.
So she's signing out to
I think
sign
she's
back in.
yeah, I think she's.
So, all right. So we'll just come back to Anna. And for now, move on to HDC 23-0041, 15 Gravel Street, and David Atkinson and Mary.
Good evening. Good evening. I'm gonna switch you over to the view there.
Okay. So the application is for.
Oh, and Dave, move the microphone closer to yourself because they're having trouble picking up those speakers.
The application is for the renovations to an existing two-car garage, essentially adding a second floor. The first floor of the garage will remain as is. The second floor will house a small studio apartment with bathroom and kitchenette. Currently, well, right now it's a one-story garage. I'll show you pictures in a second. This is what's proposed. Garage doors will stay the same. Existing door will stay the same. These new windows in the living space, be a vaulted ceiling with a small window, half round, and then window. This is the only visible from the street. These are the different elevations that are around. If we look at the pictures, let's see if I can do this. This is the house at 15 Gravel Street. This is the current garage. And as you can see, we're going to add essentially a second floor here. And going back to
what, the garage is laying back, Dave?
yeah, I'll show you that. Well, here's the picture from the street. Whoops. Yeah. So this is the house. That's the big renovation going on right now under construction. The garage is way back down the driveway. In fact, you can only partially see it. So you'd be adding a second floor here with a little, the gabled roof. The other things visible from the street. This is the carriage house that's going up behind this house next door at 17 Gravel Street. Again, barely visible from the street. You can see it a little bit right there. And then further down the street, you have this little shed at 19 Gravel Street, or garage, I should say. This is 19 Gravel Street, the Italianate house. This is 13 Gravel Street and 11 Gravel Street. And then back of 11 Gravel Street, there's a small garage as well. So that is really the extent of the project.
So can you hold up, is that the site plan there, Dave?
I'm sorry, yeah, this is the site plan. So we are at 15 Gravel Street, which is right here. And there's the garage way in the back, long driveway way back here. This is the house that was extensively renovated by Mercer Birchie. This was actually torn down, so now it's the new garage they're putting in. That's the Italianate with that little garage, and this is the house right down here at 13 Gravel is right here with a small building way in the back, which is right back here. So that's really the streetscape on Gravel Street from 11 to 19. And then if you go up to 21 Gravel Street, there's this large federal colonial house as well. The proposed garage renovation, that here. Again, garage doors are there, they'll stay. This is cement board siding, which they just wish to extend up. Windows are, they appear to be Anderson 400 series, and they'll be repeated as Anderson 400 series with the simulated or true divided lights. Same type of shingle roof. It'll really look very similar to this. It'll just be another floor. That's the extent of it.
And that's all in here.
Yeah. I believe you have all the pictures in the drawings.
How's it look from Pearl Street?
Well, again, you can't really see it. I mean,
I don't think you can either, but
I mean, I'm not going to say it's not there. And it will be obviously, this height versus this height.
Mm-hmm.
But it is I mean, if this is 1 inch, that's less, it's more than 1 inch equals 40, it's probably 1 inch equals 50. It's got to be a couple hundred feet, 150 feet away from Pearl Street.
Dave, can I ask your neighbors,
I'm
your
sorry?
neighbors, especially those back, you know, what your plans
It's
are?
closer.
The neighbor's actually in back of you. The neighbor directly behind his house was McCarrick, which is the blue house, and they were in and got, because I did the design for that, and they came in and got approval as well. So I don't think they have a problem with it. I don't know. I haven't spoken to Mr. McCarrick directly and said, do you have a problem with it? But I told him that I was doing the work for Rodriguez, and Rodriguez knows I was doing the work for McCarrick. So
Do you have any questions?
No.
All right, and I'm good.
I'm good.
I'm good.
Thank you, Dave.
Thank you. All right. All right.
Let's see if we can get Anna back.
Speaking.
Oh, that's right. Okay. That HDC 23-041 is closed. Does anyone in the audience want to speak for the application? Does anyone in the audience want to speak against the application?
Hold on, I thought we went through all the public hearings. Oh, wait.
Now we do.
You got one more.
Now we doing one at a
We're
time
doing one at a time.
for comments.
Or two
For
more,
comments.
rather.
And now we're gonna go on to 2-4.
Really?
Yeah.
And I thought we always heard all the people talk. And then went into consideration of public hearings later after.
Yeah, we are doing.
But
we
we
asked
asked the
neighbors
audience if it
for or
is
against
speaking
in the
favor or
audience.
against
During this
before.
Oh, right,
You
sure.
do that
Yeah.
during the
Then-
public
then
hearing.
Of course, of course.
That way it's
Absolutely.
public.
Thank you, I'm glad you got it right.
Then we close the public hearing, we talk to the
Here I am
public
trying to
anymore.
help and making
I'm
it
glad we
work.
straightened you out.
All
On this.
right. Okay.
There will be a pop quiz for you afterwards.
That's just a grueling night. All right, HDC 24-001, 132 Cliff Street.
If I could just add for the record, there was no public input on that last application. And the board chose to close the public hearing?
Yeah,
Okay.
didn't I say it? Did I say it in the wrong
I don't,
order?
well, I don't think you guys, I didn't hear anybody take a vote on it or a motion or anything on it, which probably should have been, but
Oh,
A vote to close the hearing?
yeah. it should.
We've never done that in the
You don't?
past.
Ever.
I don't remember ever
Yeah.
doing that.
Oh, okay,
So I'm just
That's
going
fine.
based on,
okay.
Is that a Robert Rules of Order thing or?
Yeah, you should close, there should be a motion to close the public
Okay.
hearing,
I'll
no
make-
doubt,
All
make-
of them at once, Tim, or one every?
individually.
all right.
You make a motion to continue it, you make a motion to close it.
So,
Yeah.
all right, I make a motion to close 15 Gravel Street, HDC 23-041.
Brady second.
Goodrich,
Sure,
Brady,
Aye.
Ferguson, I.
Eastman, I.
Okay, that application is closed. Now we're opening HDC 24-001, 132 Cliff Street. You're on.
Peter Springsteel, architect, 105 Star Street. Mystic, here tonight, with regard to 132 Cliff Lane. And I was here a couple months ago with this same property. We were doing a more extensive addition over an existing garage. They've since reconsidered that and pulling back the scope of work. So that now that addition is not being done. We're doing more internal work. And we're proposing to do a railing on top of the one-story garage. And because as you look at this building, the garage is kind of out of scale with the rest of the house. So we wanted to add something back to the garage to bring it up a little bit higher in terms of its look. There's also a railing similar to this on the front of the house. So this facade faces Cliff Street around the corner, and it has a railing similar to what we're proposing on the garage side of the house. That railing that we're proposing would be an Intex railing, which is a vinyl product. It's got the matte finish. It's not a glossy plastic look. We're also doing a deck on the back of the garage. You don't really see much of it. You can see the stair poking out right here. I'll show you that in the plan. This is existing.
So are they actually gonna use the top of the garage as a deck also, or
No.
we're just putting the railing up there for aesthetics?
Just for aesthetics, yeah. It's at a different level than the rest of the house. That's existing. That's proposed, that's existing photos of the house. This is the existing garage. You can see that really large offset.
You want to pull that up a little bit there, Peter, so we can see the rest of the photo. All right.
This photo here is the back of the house.
Yeah.
You really don't see that from the street. You might see it from High Street, actually, looking down. All right, so here, this is the front of the garage. This is the railing that we want to run around the perimeter of the garage. This is the deck in the back that fits in the little recess here. You probably do see some of that from Cliff Lane as it goes up the hill there, and from High Street up here. But this roof is up about 3 or 4 feet from the deck level, so we're really not going to use that for a deck. So this elevation is from the rear, so you can see the offset in the railings there.
So the only access to the deck is on the outside stairs. There's no.
No, there's a door from the living room. That's the second floor. Yeah, there's the living room. You come out the door here. This is all on the same level. This is up.
You said the deck is 3 or 4 feet lower than the garage.
Yeah, the
So
garage roof.
as a 6'4" person, I would be able to stand on the deck and look over the garage.
Yeah, a little bit,
Okay.
but the garage is, 20 feet deep, so you're not gonna really see
Right, but I
much.
just want to make sure I'm understanding.
Yeah.
Okay.
And yeah, there's the deck surface, there's the roof surface of the garage.
Okay.
So it might not be quite 3 feet actually. So, 2. And then from Cliff Lane, this is what you'll see from the street. There's also, this is a new door that we're putting in. And I think that was in your packet as a Therma-Tru door, I believe. It's a new Therma-Tru Smooth Star painted fiberglass door.
Yeah, right here.
Got there.
And for all intents and purposes, it looks like a painted wooden door. And it's got the simulated divided lights on it. And we're also adding 2 windows to the kitchen right here. And those are called out as new 32 by 48 Marvin Elevate double hung windows with SDL 6/6 buttons.
That's listed on your drawings.
Yeah, it's written on the drawings. And there's there was a different window that's here now that's getting infilled. So we're rearranging the windows a little bit. So it's a door, the windows, and the deck and the railings.
And when you were here before, what were you putting an addition on top of the garage?
Yeah, there was a whole addition sitting on top of this.
Then the bids came in.
It's happening almost on every job now. So stuff is so expensive. It's out of sight. But they're putting a lot of money to the inside of the house, so.
Really? Lumber's come down.
So that's all I have on that one.
Does anyone on the commission have any questions for the applicant? Right.
I have no questions.
Does anyone in the audience have any, want to speak for the application? Speak against? Okay. HDC 24001, I'd like to make a motion to close that.
Second, Brady.
Goodrich, aye.
Brady, aye.
Ferguson, I.
Eastman, I.
All right, HDC 24-001, 132 Cliff Street is closed. We'll go now while you're here, HDC 24-002, 1 Water Street.
Again, Peter Springsteel, architect. So 1 Water Street, I was here a couple months ago. We're renovating this interior of this building mostly. Last time I was here to get approval for a new front door.
Right. Right.
Right, this is the old Densmore building.
This is the old Densmore building. The last time I was here, we were replacing the door with a taller door. It's a it was a 6'8" door, and we're going to a 7-foot door because we're leveling out the floor inside the building.
How's that going?
It hasn't
Not
started
yet.
yet. We're going for site plan approval January 24th. And then a variance for the exceeding the 50% value for the flood zone stuff. But on this application here, all I'm really seeking to do is we have some HVAC units that sit on the rear roof here. And we may have another one when we do the renovation. So we're going to screen that with a railing system. So in plan, this is the plan of the railing system. We now are going to have 3 condensers up there. And what that's going to look like is this. We'll build a base that'll give us a level surface to put our HVAC units on it, and then we'll surround that with a railing. And again, that's going to be a Intex vinyl railing system. Again, it's the matte vinyl finish, all in white, and the base will be an AZEK base.
Like the rail on the standard?
The rail on the standard is a 42-inch railing, and I think it's got but it is the same product line,
Yeah.
but it's taller and it's got a horizontal extension to get it up to 42, but similar product though.
But basically it's a top and bottom rail balusters between.
Correct. Yep.
Did you get wet last week
Where?
on the first floor?
At this property.
Here?
Yeah.
I don't know if they did or not.
And again, it's on that picture, but something, and I could be remembering, there was something about a step
So
last time.
So
Yeah,
the way it exists now, there's this step right here. We're going to be removing that. And we got approval for the taller door. So the floor in there, it pitches 9 inches from the front of the building to the back. So we're going to tear out the floor. We're going to fill up the crawl space, put a slab in, that's all level. So that'll give us a handicap entrance at the sidewalk here.
And then again, I could be misremembering. There was some pots out front or something.
On the site plan, there was
Like,
there was a planter, I think,
Yeah.
that the surveyor or the civil engineer had designed to go out front. Yes, and I think that was all part of that application.
okay.
When we went to the planning and zoning staff meeting, they had mentioned maybe adding a bicycle rack out there. And I don't know if we're going forward with that or not, but if we are, I guess we come back here again. We'll show that to you.
Do you have any questions? Questions? Does anyone in the audience want to speak for this application? Speak against? All right, I make a motion to close HDC 24-002 One Water Street.
I second that.
All right,
That was Keatsman.
Keatsman
Keatsman
second,
second.
right? Goodrich,
I'll get her chai.
Brady, aye.
Ferguson, aye.
Keatsman, aye.
All right, HDC 24-002 One
Thank you.
Water Street is closed. Now we'll go check on Miss Troiano. Oops.
She's logged in 3 times now. You just pick one.
Pick all of them.
What's that?
Pick all of them. See what happens. Anna, can you hear us?
Yes, I can see you.
Oh, boy.
I think she's gonna have to log off in a couple of those to get rid of that feedback.
Yeah.
You have feedback because you're logged into us 3 times, just for the record.
Yeah. I'm trying.
Let's see.
Can you share your screen?
Might be able to mute her, right?
Yeah.
Which one do, oh, she's up there.
I think he's a promoter to panelist too, right?
What's
So
that?
you can share. Doesn't she have to be promoted to a panelist to share, Tim?
Oh, maybe that was the issue.
Maybe that's the issue.
Yeah,
You can remove a couple.
Yeah.
promote her to panelist and see if she that.
Close.
Oops.
So yeah, you go to
This one.
go over to the and then promote the panelist. There you go. Now I think she can share her screen.
Anna, do you want to try and share your screen again?
Oh, she's muted.
There's no share setting on my below the screen.
I mean, she doesn't even have an initial screen.
We'll
So
promote her to.
She's
Oh,
fine to be.
I
think she's got.
Did you decline to be panelist, Anna?
Where would that have been?
Try promoting her again. Tim, see if it works.
Promote.
Did I go back?
Can I do it here?
Yeah.
Click
on
there.
You got to permission to talk. No, that's weird.
No, you got to go to participants, then go to attendees and make her.
Why don't you? Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, do that one.
Okay, there we go.
All right, should we rejoin in as a panelist?
Okay. Now, when you rejoin, there you are. Can you see
share now?
Can you see a share screen on the bottom?
Yes.
Okay, click on that green.
Totally different.
Yep.
Is she still on? Yeah, twice at least.
Just yeah. There we go. So there you are. There we go. There we go. Success.
Thanks. Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes. Can you mute your other device that you're logged in on? Did you log in on your phone by chance?
Yes. As a backup, I'll get rid of that.
Yeah.
Okay, is that better?
Sort of, but we'll roll with it.
It might take a second.
How's that? I still hear an echo.
Yeah. So if you go to participants one more time.
Can Tim kick the other ones off?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which one is large?
Can you tell which one it is, Tim?
Just-
Let's remove one.
Just remove that one.
Remove
Click
it.
remove. There you go. All right, now try it. Now speak. Let's see if there's an echo.
Hello.
Yeah,
Hello.
perfect. Perfect.
Thank you. Okay. All right. I have two propane tanks coming, and I'm talking about the placement of those and an enclosure for those. To my cottage that's already been approved and is being built, new build on High Street, 148 High Street. So here's my plan. This is my current house here, and then this is my cottage down here.
The red line is High Street.
Yep.
Yes.
And then she's highlighted where the tanks are going, I think, right?
Yes.
Raised high.
Yeah.
There's two tanks next to each. And the two tanks are next to each other.
Yes.
Just raise the picture a little bit.
Here's the house compared to my current house, the cottage. And it's to the right of the cottage over, I guess it's the south side of the cottage.
So if we're standing in front, it's to our right, correct?
It's right here.
Yeah, perfect.
The tank placement is actually about halfway down the building. Maybe
Yes.
a little less than halfway down the building is where the gas inlet
Which
is.
side, as you're looking at it, which side is it on? I thought it was on the left.
Yeah. be on the right.
If you're looking at the building from High Street, it's on the right-hand side.
Oh, okay.
Be on your right if you stand in place of that.
Southernmost side of the building.
Yes. They're actually going underneath these, a bank of windows, the cottage windows right here.
Okay.
Do those windows open?
Um,
Not a problem.
Nope.
No.
Not
I
when
don't-
it's below it.
I don't remember.
This propane is heavier.
It's gonna go right down.
Okay.
Another view, looking at the street. The street is ahead.
No, those photos aren't in this application.
I don't see. Yeah.
Are they in the folder?
No.
No, okay.
There's also something else that I talked to Susan, and she said could be a modification, that I also need my AC unit added to this, because that's already ready to go. And I didn't know if it was possible to add that on. It's on the same side of the house, and it's actually the same side of the cottage, and it's in between these two windows, the long windows right here. It's in between there. It has to be a certain distance from the propane tanks, obviously. And here's the hookup for it. There's the ground. Here's the neighbors. This is looking straight at High Street. High Street's ahead. Okay. Here's the unit. Because I want to also show you what I currently have as an enclosure around my own AC unit at the house. And I want to do the same thing there. So it's gray lattice around three-sided, around the two propane tanks, obviously higher than this. And then another one almost identical to this for the AC unit that I have to put in at the cottage as well. And it's wood, it's cedar, and I painted it gray to match my current house, and I'll do the same for the cottage, so you can't even tell it's there. And of course, I'll do some plantings of bushes.
Okay, I think we may have an issue here, and that is that we don't have any of those exhibits either in any of our materials or in any of the, we don't have them. You've got them on the screen there, but we don't actually have them in hand. And so typically,
They were, Susan showed me the file.
they were supposed to be in the file. Supposed to be in the file.
They were in the file. She made copies of these from the file for me, from the front desk, from Susan.
Yeah, unfortunately, they're not on our electronic or physical file. And also, Anna, there's nothing in your application about your AC unit, so you would need the file an application for that separately.
Okay, I was just wondering if I could add that on as a modification. But how about the propane though? Is that, you don't have that?
Yeah, we don't have the photos, nor do we even have a materials list for the fencing you're proposing on using.
All right.
But you say you've everything you just showed us, Anna, you say you submitted to Susan?
Yeah, I was in person with her 2 times, and she said to show them pictures. That's why I took all these pictures. She said, just bring them. I said, should I submit them? She said, no, just show them, and show them your current shelter to disguise the units from what I have, and take pictures and show it.
Susan
she said that's all I needed.
Present in person.
Yeah, she may have thought
You were presenting.
you were going to come to the meeting and have them with you.
And then give them to us.
And then give them to us for the file.
Oh, okay. Well, I didn't come tonight because of the weather. I didn't.
No, we
come
understand.
Yeah.
We understand. That's
I was going to come.
I think in all fairness, we have to
Continue it.
Yeah. As we did with the window guy, to be fair otherwise.
Exactly. I agree. That was my.
I can bring these to you tomorrow. Is that okay? You can have everything.
What we're going to do is continue this until the next meeting and just have you submit these into the file before Thursday, so we can have this in our hands for the next meeting.
Anna, what you probably want to do as well is go ahead and fill out an application for the condenser. And then at the next meeting, the condenser would be heard, because that's not going to be approved tonight, no matter what.
Okay.
All that document was here because it wasn't part of the original application. So submit an application for the condenser, and then get all your support documents submitted to Susan, so they can all be in the file for the next meeting.
Sure.
Okay.
Great. Thank you.
What's that?
That needs to be in by
Thursday.
That
2
needs to be.
days from now?
Yeah.
So you
It'll
have
be in
everything.
tomorrow.
Okay.
Okay.
And everything, I mean, just looks good from what you presented. We just need it in our hands. That's all.
Yeah.
So, all right, I'm gonna make a motion to continue HDC
23-0040.
correct, 23 dash.
Brady second.
Goodrich, aye.
Brady, aye.
Ferguson, I.
Keats and I.
HDC 23-0040 is closed. All right. Thank you, Anna.
Thank you, Anna.
Thanks for your help with the Zoom.
You're welcome.
All right. So we're going to take a 2-minute recess.
You did a little harder. I don't think I heard it.
You get water, Tom?
Pardon me?
Did you get water?
Oh yeah, some of it got into the condo building, actually, into the lobby, a little bit into the garage, and then first floor of the shop got about an inch of water.
That's it. The shop. I thought it would get more.
Well, the shop is up about this high.
Oh, man.
And of course the whole parking lot.
Yeah.
I live where Pequot and Edgecombe come together, and I'm on ledge, and it just bubbled up. Came up through the drains that I have in my basement, and I got 3 inches up there, and I'm like 100 feet above the river.
But,
It was no
but yeah, but
writing
it was
from the law.
higher. It wasn't as high as it was the December storm a year ago.
Yeah.
That one got more into the main building.
But people were, I don't know if this is true, but some people were saying because on Gravel Street, that it was worse this time around than Sandy.
No,
No?
well, it may have been for them. It wasn't even close to Sandy.
So I think it was gravel, they probably got title and they probably got
Down.
wrong.
Yeah.
We got it on Grove Street. Yeah. Storm sewer back. All the way across. Through. A year ago, December, made it to the middle of the road.
So it was worse this time for you. Yeah, because we've had water come up in the condo floor drains during Sandy. It came back up, the other day. Apparently there are no backflow preventers on those.
There you go.
But the weird thing is that even those areas that got wet, when the tide went back out, it just sucked all the water right out of the building. And we didn't have to pump anything except for the elevator pits.
Yeah.
And half the electric meters.
Supposed to have a sump at their elevator.
We had a trash pump in there, but then you got the generator you got to keep. They got no power. And you're wondering when you're going to send the elevators up to the first floor before the power fails so they aren't stuck there. I got that one right during Sandy.
Thank you. All right, I'm going to reconvene Historic District meeting at 8:07 p.m. So we're done with the consideration of, we're done with the public hearings, and now we'll go through the consideration of public hearings. And HDC 23-0037 was continued. HDC 23-0040 was also continued. And we'll now take a vote. HDC 23-0041 15 Gravel Street.
I make a motion to approve. I think it's a handsome building. I think designs match some of the cues on the main house. Fits in with the neighborhood. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Sorry. Just
Go ahead.
Keithman second. I agree with what John said.
All right, we'll take a vote.
Goodrich, aye.
I agree with what Mr. Goodrich said, and I think it's wholly appropriate. And so Brady, aye.
Ferguson, aye.
Keithman, aye.
All right, HDC 23-0041 is approved as presented. HDC 24-001 132 Cliff Street. That's the addition of roof and railing and deck, window and door replacements. I make a motion to approve.
Goodrich, second.
All right.
Goodrich, aye.
I think that this application is fine. Brady, aye.
Ferguson, aye.
Keithman, aye.
All right, HDC 24-001 132 Cliff Street is approved as presented. HDC 24-002 1 Water Street, which is the HVAC screening on the old Densmore building.
Keithman moves to approve.
And it's also the door. No,
The door
we
was
approved the
approved.
7-foot door.
I'm sorry, you're on that first one, yes. You're on the one on Cliff Street, Cliff Lane.
No.
Water Street, the old Denver building.
The door already got approved.
Oh,
Yeah.
it was, okay, I've forgotten that we approved it at 7 foot.
I made a motion to approve.
Goodrich, second.
Okay, let's vote.
Goodrich, aye.
Brady, aye.
Ferguson, aye.
Keithman, aye.
Okay, HDC 24-002 is approved as presented. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, Peter.
Right, now we're gonna go into pre-applications. There you go. Well, come on up and introduce yourself and give us your address. Introduce yourself again.
Hi, into the microphone, right?
Right.
Can you record this part? I'm Will Getz at 45 Pearl Street in Mystic. And I have 3 potential projects to discuss with you guys. They're all small, so it shouldn't take long.
Mr. Getz, before I think we have to make a motion to add him, right? He's not on the.
I make a
right.
motion to add 45 Pearl Street to the pre-application hearing.
A second.
Goodrich, aye.
Brady, aye.
Ferguson, I.
Keats and I.
Ferguson seconded that, Susan.
Now I'm on.
Go.
You're on.
You're
How do you
good.
spell- How do you spell your last name?
Goetz.
Thanks.
Can you guys see this?
Yeah.
Almost, huh?
You can zoom in on this. I think
I think that's probably,
That's
I
good.
think I'm in.
All right.
Yeah, I'm not getting any more out of that.
The floor is yours, sir.
Okay, so I would like to add a cupola to my garage because it's very
Got a little bit.
better. Because
Yeah,
it gets
better.
really hot in the summertime, needs ventilation. I'd like to add an outdoor shower. Backyard cooling station. And replace the windows in the antique double doors. That one's a little bit complex, and I'll show you the pictures of it so you guys can, guide me on that one. I'm planning to do these projects myself, so I have examples of what things will look like, but not exactly what they're going to be. Okay, so here is a plot plan. And this is, of course, Grove, and the water came all the way to there. And we're going to put the cupola on top of the garage, probably centered on this little gable return right here, which I think is at the center. And of course, I'll go through and allow all that hot air to come out of there. Okay, so pictures from Grove Street. The garage is here, and the cupola would be set back, in the middle there. And you really would have a hard time seeing it from Pearl, but I think you might be able to see the corner of it. You could also see it from Pearl to the north, looking back across Grove, but it's basically the same view as you get from Grove. Okay. And the cupola itself, I'm planning on a 34-inch wide, in keeping with the, 1.25 or less per foot of roof line, to build a copper roof with the curved roof to it. I'll get back to weather vane in a second. The midsection of it would be either pressure treated or cedar, and would be painted, and the lower section would be clad, pressure treated plywood, but clad in cedar. And I don't know if I want to paint that or not, because, if you see, the garage itself is unpainted, so it's just weathered cedar. So it's kind of a tough call. Yeah.
Vertical.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's just flush vertical boards. It's not board and batten, right?
Right. Yep. Tongue and groove or something like that. Okay. And then eventually we'll put a weather vane on it. Do we need to detail that now?
I don't think weather vanes are under our purview, are they?
I'm not aware.
Yeah.
If they have roosters on them, I think.
But if they're sailboats, they're not.
We're going with a
Or
tuna.
whales.
It's got to be a tuna.
Well, you could select one, and then if you don't like it or change your mind, come back and change the weather vane.
Okay.
And we can go through our book too and see if I don't think weather vanes have been covered.
I don't know.
I'd have to look. I can't recall.
Yeah.
I can't see us being opposed to weather vane unless it was, something
With-
super radical.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
No, which should be okay.
That should be okay. All right.
Good witch
So-
or bad witch?
So is
No.
this sufficient
Good bridge.
in terms
we
of
need a list of materials.
the full material list?
Yeah.
He's got,
Okay.
he's sort of got it right
Yeah, he's got
there.
that right
He's got
there.
it
I mean, I
right
think
on
it's complete enough.
Okay. Well, I don't know. I'm so used to it.
Dimensions
Listed.
and materials. I think
Right.
everything you said
Ev-
qualifies.
yeah,
if it's
everything.
all on the document.
Okay, I'll detail it. Just
That-
next level.
Yep.
Next is outdoor shower. And again, this one's a little tricky because you actually have to be standing in the walkway that goes through the hedge in order to actually see it. You wouldn't see it from the Pearl Street side of the house. It's tucked back in here.
Can you see it from the Grove Street side?
You can if you're looking down.
Like you'd almost have to be looking for it, it seems like.
Yeah, you got to look between the hedge to see it. So we have a little privacy in it. Yeah.
I live on River Road and I go by your house in the summer all the time on a motorcycle. I think it'd be almost impossible to see. I mean, I appreciate you bringing it up, but I love your house. I always take a look at it and I think you'd be hard pressed to see it personally. It's up to these guys. We would need to.
So how are you planning, what are you gonna wear when you go?
And it's not under our purview.
I'll be wearing a barrel.
Oak or pine?
Oak. Yeah, and that's basically what it's going to look like. So,
Well, if you could get a glimpse of it though, right?
I mean, I know his walkway's like, I think literally this wide. I mean,
But is it the hedge that's blocking the view of it?
so yeah, this is,
So if the hedge weren't there,
the hedge was not there, you would see it.
all right, so you've got to submit for it.
Yeah.
You might see it through the opening in the hedge.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
this is a,
Yep, I get you.
Okay.
So at one distinct sight line,
You could
it would
see
be
it.
visible.
the mailman.
Yeah.
He's going to see it all the time.
So yeah,
Okay.
just to cover your bases.
And again, you
Submitted.
just specify the materials and the dimensions. And
Exactly, materials and dimensions, just like
Okay.
the cupola.
With the cupola, sorry to go backwards, but with the cupola, kind of the gating dimension is that width of the roof and of the saddle and the trim on there, and sort of the height then falls out of that.
Right.
Do you want all of that?
Yes.
All of that. Okay.
You said it was like 34 inches, but I don't know how high
Yeah,
it is.
it's going to be about from the base of the saddle about 2 times.
Okay.
these are the double doors in the front of the house.
Double doors. Yep.
One for the brick basement.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. So they're right here. And I painted them this year and discovered that the glazing was in terrible shape. Terrible shape. I mean, I tried to take some out and I broke a few windows. And you know, these grills are just like, it's really hard to glaze because there's almost no wood left. So if you look closely at it, you can see that I think what they did originally with these doors, or perhaps later on, is they actually mounted a window on the back. So it's almost as though you can take this piece out and replace it with a window. I'm thinking for, I don't know, it probably doesn't matter because these are so thin that, you know, putting in a thermal pane window doesn't do much for me, you know. But that's sort of the choice, you know. Do I just replace completely in kind, try and get somebody to build me a window, wooden window that matches these dimensions that I can.
I mean, is that your plan though? Do you want to just insert the window portion of the door, or do you want to replace the whole door?
I don't want to replace the door. No, I like them. They got a lot of, they got a lot of character.
I mean, they're great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So would you say you would, and maybe this is too early to ask, but would you just take out the whole frame, put in a solid piece of glass, and then put?
I think I can get, you know, a 6 light window to replace into there.
Okay.
And if I do that in kind, right, that's
Like
you guys don't have to. I don't have to bring this to you. But if I was going to do it with thermal pane, simulated divided light, you know, get a window like that, then I bring it to you.
Correct.
Okay. All right. So I guess I got decisions to make on that,
Mhm.
right? But I'll be back with the other two.
Yeah. in my mind.
Do any of these need a building permit?
The cupola should, yeah.
Okay.
Does the shower need a building?
The shower is iffy.
The guy has it different than a hose bib, right?
It's gonna be if it's kind of freestanding, it's less than 200 square feet. It might need a zoning permit only. So maybe. And the windows, the way the building code reads is anytime glazing is touched, it needs to come up to code and be current with code for safety glazing, impact glazing, whatever. It doesn't matter if, ands, or buts. Anytime you touch glazing, it's got to come up to code. So it would, but probably replacing the glass in that probably would trigger a building permit because of the requirement to install safety glazing.
Right. So
You would have to have safety glazing in that though, Peter, Tim, because
the door will slam.
it's in a door like that.
Yep.
So if he brought all these, Mr. Getz brought all these three at the same time, but he's taking his time to do them, that's fine, right?
Yeah, you can do them all in the same building permit, no problem.
And I mean, even in the same COA. So
I don't have, yeah, that's up to you guys. I don't see
You have
it.
5 years to build them all, or?
Right.
Yeah.
The
As
way
long as
we
he just,
understand.
you know, he included all of them on his application.
Right.
So it's clear.
Right.
Yeah. They wouldn't have to
And
do
then
like
he's good
3
with
separate
that,
applications.
unless you change your mind, you're good with what you
That's what we're
submitted.
trying to.
Yeah,
You can always come
yeah, I
back
wouldn't,
and
I
You
did
can always come
not,
back if
yeah.
they want to modify the one I gave you, so.
Yeah.
Or
Okay.
you can do them, piecemeal, like you do the projects, whatever.
Yeah. I'm not doing them at the same time.
Yeah, but it might make sense to get it all approved at the same time.
No, I
Unless
agree.
you want to
Yeah.
come back.
that 5-year
Yeah.
It
window.
depends whether you're a glutton for punishment.
Yeah, I'm not.
Depends how
gonna
much
get
you
it
enjoy these
like-
meetings, you know.
Like an
Make sure
empty
you get a
docket
building
like
permit for
tonight.
that
Been an
weather.
hour and 25 minutes already, you know. It's a
Well,
fun-
I knew almost everybody who was in here, so spying on them. I'd say that.
I mean,
So,
I think they look great. I love all
I
your.
think, yeah, I
plans.
think
So.
I have no questions or concerns about
Me either.
Does anybody else?
I think they're all great. Like I said, I'm a big, huge fan of your house, so.
thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Thank
Yeah, I
you.
hope it goes great.
Well, I want to get the cupola going soon, so keeps me out of trouble.
So it's all ready by the time summer hits.
Yeah, right.
So if you want to get on the next agenda, get a application and a document package into Susan no later
And then-
Thursday,
The next one is
February 2.
2 weeks. Yeah.
No, it's gonna be like 3 weeks because there's 3 Tuesdays in January.
Yeah,
Yeah, the
we're the
first
first and third
Tuesday.
Tuesday.
So you actually have an extra week.
You have an extra week.
You have an
up till
extra
the
week.
third.
Now that I think about it, yeah.
Okay. All right, so one building permit, all of these concepts in it. And
Yeah.
one
And one-
HDC
And
application.
if you had enough time to figure out what you want, how you wanted to do the door, then you could make that part of the same application. You can always come back and modify.
Yeah,
If you say, I'm going to go with this on the door, and then you determine later you want to change it, you can always come back and change.
I would recommend you iron out the details for these guys. And once these guys are comfortable with what you're proposing and you have a certificate of approval from them, the building permit will be quick. So I wouldn't be in a hurry to do a building permit until you sorted out the details of what you actually want to do based on their recommendations and what course you decide to take.
right. So are you the building inspector?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you saw my door,
Did
I
I?
think, maybe you did, I don't know. 45 Pearl, back door, board and batten,
Wasn't me.
wasn't you? Okay.
Did you get it approved? Was it a while ago?
I completed it. When did I complete it?
I know we
completed
approved it
before
like 6 or 7
Thanksgiving.
months ago.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I remember that.
Before Thanksgiving?
yeah.
I didn't go out and look at it. It
No.
might have been, I have a guy who's going out in the field and Scott was still here then. Maybe he went out.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, I just wanted kudos, that's all.
Um, I'll catch up with you on the front doors.
Okay. Thanks.
Yeah.
So Tim, can I just, because something you said I wasn't aware of, so let's say you have an old, I don't know, 1720 house with 12 over 12s, original glass in them, and the glazing needs to be replaced, you have to bring that glass up to code?
It's supposed to be, yeah. You can apply for a historic exemption through the Office of the State Building Official. So.
All right, I'd like to make a motion to close that pre-application.
Goodrich second. Goodrich aye.
Brady, aye.
Ferguson, aye.
Keatsman, aye.
Now we're moving on to public communications. Are there any public communications?
I have nothing for you on that.
Okay. Let's move on to approval of the minutes from special meeting minutes on January 2nd.
I make a motion that Keatsman makes a motion, we approve the special meeting minutes as written.
Right.
Brady, second.
All right.
Goodrich aye.
Brady, aye.
Ferguson, aye.
Keatsman, aye.
Okay. Now we'll go on to the regular meeting minutes from
Can I do
January.
it again?
Go ahead, Dick.
Keatsman makes a motion that we accept the regular meeting minutes for January 2nd as written.
Ferguson will second.
Goodrich aye.
Brady, aye.
Ferguson, aye.
Keatsman, aye.
All right. So the approval of the minutes is closed. Now we'll move to old business. Is there anything?
I have something under old business. I think I had mentioned it at the last meeting or the meeting before. 158 High Street is looking for a certificate of occupancy. And when I went out to do my final inspections, there were a couple of observations that I thought you should come to light for you guys. One of them was on the original approval, there was no a condenser mounted on the back of the building that can be seen from High Street. So I brought it to the attention of the contractor, and they put up a screening for it. I went out. I think Eric asked me to take some pictures last time.
This is the one. This is the one that's hard. It's down the street from the one we saw tonight.
It's like when you're the one that we saw tonight. If you're standing and looking at the one that we saw tonight, if you look
Right
north, you're looking at the face of that one.
It's hard to see because the brown garage.
There's a garage right there.
And that's where that is, behind the brown garage?
Yeah.
Mostly behind the brown.
That's a bad picture. So this was, if you can see the top of the condenser, and this vertical boarding right there is what they put on to hide the condenser. I'm standing on High Street when I took that picture. We talked about originally putting the panel here to hide the electric. But if we put something on a building like that, right there, the required work area for the meter can would not be compliant. So we couldn't put anything there.
For the meter can?
Yeah, for the this has its own service. So that's an electrical service that comes in right there. So we originally talked about mounting a panel right here, and that would have hid this as well. You can see the top of the mini split condenser right there. It would have hidden both of that, but if you mount that on the building right there, you need 30 from the center of the meter can. You need 30 inches, and the meter can is right on the edge of the building. So if you had mounted it, you would have been encumbering that 15 inches from the center of the meter.
That's for someone who wants to work on the thing, Ted.
Yeah, it's required workspace.
Right.
Yeah. Meter guy has to come up and work on it. He's got to have a minimum of 30 inches wide, 36 inches of clear space in front of him. So that's that portion of it. And then around the front side of it, I think I had mentioned that they had they put a little enclosure that they wanted to put yard tools and such in. And so if you walk in alongside of that garage, if you walk in off of High Street, you walk in around the corner, and you look across the front of that unit, that's the view that you're looking at. I'm sorry I couldn't print in color, but our color machine is on. So this vertical enclosure right here was not originally on the plan. And it was explained to me that they're going to, this platform right over here is for a grill. And they fully intend to use this as an ADU. And they said there's going to be times where they don't want the particular occupant to use the grill. So they want to store yard tools and the grill in that area.
So that was mentioned verbally during their presentation.
Was it?
Yes.
Oh, cool. What a memory.
No, I definitely remember. I was like,
That
that's so
doing
weird that they were hiding a grill from their renters. That was what went through my
Well, I think it's
brain.
'cause it's-
Well, I think
No,
it's
right.
like yard tools
Right,
and things
but
like that
they
as well.
specifically said they were gonna hide the grill.
Yeah.
From the people that were renting.
Yeah.
But was that enclosure ever approved or not?
It was not on your,
Oh,
it was not on Peter's plan that showed the front of the building
okay,
like that.
okay, but, okay.
But it may have been mentioned. I
It was
don't
that-
know if it's
I-
clarified as an approval, but it's, before I did a final sign off on it, those are the two things that I kind of saw that were in conflict from what was.
Okay.
It's really hard to find that, you see this from the street though.
It is. That's really hard to see from the street, but it can also be seen from,
Pearl Street, if you're looking up the,
it's not Pearl.
I
it's,
mean,
Bank.
Bank,
Yeah.
right? Like if you're
no,
standing.
it's Pearl, Pearl's the one down below, right? You can.
I think Bank's directly below that because it's further down High Street, closer to the main.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would be Bank right below that.
Right, and then
99%
Bank, and
sure.
Come up by the old
Okay.
school.
All right, let's do it this
Yeah.
way.
The retirement facility.
Academy Point.
Hang on.
Yeah. Um,
This is more downstream, I thought. Well, okay.
Yeah, it is Bank. Bank's right below
And
it.
here's a picture that I took actually from when I was at that other ADU, the one, the applicant tonight. I was standing in that yard. It didn't come out real well because I had to expand it out. But that's the view that you look at if you're looking at it from her. I was, as I'm getting ready to walk into her unit. If you look directly north, that's what you're looking at right there. So that would be the end. You'd be looking at this end this way with it, yeah.
Right.
So it's the same thing all the way around, all sides of that same vertical. It's polyurethane and stained, I think probably a redwood or something. This.
So you have questions for us, Tim?
Well, it was not on the plan, so I wanted to bring it to you guys' attention, the screening for the AC unit especially. The grill enclosure may or may not be able to be seen from the public view, so, but definitely the screening on the
modification.
That's what I was gonna suggest. Have them come to the next meeting.
Yeah,
and
why
get
not?
approval
Come
for
to
it.
the next meeting and ask for a modification. And
well, Eric, at the last meeting, Eric said he thought you guys, with some pictures, you guys might be able to just approve it under old business.
oh, okay.
I don't think,
I don't want
I'm gonna give my opinion, just my opinion. I don't think we've done that for anybody else, even for SIFT and stuff. We've actually made them come and present. So I think just in
Just
the
have them
interest
come
of
back.
consistency, but that's my opinion only.
Your call.
What's up for these guys? That's from one of,
Well,
Five.
yeah, I guess I'd add John's comment that if that allows them to feel completely secure that nobody's ever gonna complain that it doesn't match what they got a COA for. Right, because
Well, I don't think they are as much concerned about it as making sure that it doesn't come back to them later, that something was done.
yeah,
That
that's
wasn't
what
part
I'm
of an
getting at.
approval.
If they come back.
Yeah,
And then
But
someone doesn't
modification.
say, well, Tim approved this.
right, that too.
Right.
It wasn't on a plan and I signed, because that's the only thing I'm ready to issue a certificate of occupancy for the building pending this.
I would, I'd
and my
like to-
fear is, oh, go ahead, sorry.
No, I was just gonna make a motion that based on Tim's presentation that we request that they're not applicant, but the owner come back and ask for a modification with these two
Details.
details.
Okay.
Correct. So that's
So
the
is this
motion on
holding
the
up-
floor.
Just a second though,
Oh.
before, is this holding up the CO that you? can-
Correct. It's holding up issuance of the actual certificate
Yeah.
of occupancy, but I have allowed occupancy of the dwelling unit. But the paperwork is not formalized.
Saying
Oh,
like
So they basically have a TCO or a
They
verbal.
have a temporary CO.
Yeah, they have like a
It's not-
TCO or a
not
verbal.
keeping them out of the house.
Right,
Right, right.
they're not in a cardboard box on the deck.
But it is a motivator to.
So given the TCO, I'm gonna second his motion
Yeah.
if discussion is done.
Yeah.
It'll probably be the contractor, Andy Dracos, who comes back. I'll probably get him to come.
Okay. Right, vote on the motion,
Goodrich, aye.
Brady, I.
Ferguson, I.
Keatsman, I.
Okay, so is that clear?
Yes,
Okay.
thank you.
And now we're on to new business. Anyone on the commission have new business to present?
Not at this time.
Tim, do you have any?
No new business, nope.
Okay, new business is closed. HDC enforcement update.
So I have no enforcement update from Tom because he said that there really wasn't anything worth mentioning. The fence at 8 Pearl that we've actually had a discussion about how to notice the people, et cetera. certified letter went out again, based on a conversation we had several meetings ago. They had talked about possibly sticking one on the door, but both the town manager, John Reiner, and Rich Cody said, no, we're not sending somebody with an enforcement letter to stick in the door. So we re-noticed them by certified mail. The certified mail got picked up by a person who is a new manager of the property, and he immediately contacted Tom and said that he was in receipt of the notification and that he would address it. And it was, I think, Thursday or Friday of last week, he came in and told us that the fence has been removed. It's been 100% removed. It no longer exists. So that case is actually closed.
Thank
He
you.
told us it was coming.
54.
Wait,
I'm sorry, go ahead.
it's just a picket fence, right?
It was a very small section of fence, yes.
Okay,
It was, my understanding, it was only about 8 feet long.
because it looked approvable if you wanted to go that way.
They just said they don't
Alright.
want to, nope. They said it wasn't, they didn't
Okay.
want to go that
No, that's
route.
fine. I just want to make sure I had the right fence.
I had mentioned that I was in communication with 54 West Main Street regarding the fence on the front, and that communication is continuing at this point.
Yeah.
I will say it's continuing. I will say that there has been movement on it, but there's nothing affirmative that I can report at this point.
Does that conclude your enforcement update?
Yes.
All right, so the enforcement update is now closed.
Well, can I ask questions about your?
Oh, no.
No, well,
There's a
either
motion.
way-
No, go ahead. What do you got?
I mean, you had a big list at the last meeting.
Yeah, but it's like 2 of them were River Road, so they've been in here now.
Fixed.
One of them was Pearl Street. They've been in here.
Yep.
What were the other ones?
The 92 High Street, they say they're submitting an application. That's the privacy fence, the big yellow house up on the corner of High and West Main Street.
Oh,
There's a
that's
yellow
right.
house, the house next to it, put up a privacy fence on the front of the
So
house.
I think that's the one Tom he sent a letter. Did he say that he had sent a letter on that one? I'm
I
pretty
think he
sure.
did say
Your
something
last
about
note
it.
said
The last
that
meeting.
they're submitting an application.
Oh, so he had been in communication with them and they didn't submit an application. So I will follow up on that one. And then one of the other ones on that list, I think, was 15 Elm,
Yeah,
and that's all set. That's all done.
that was the
Captain Spicer.
Captain's Place, yeah.
Yeah, Captain's Place.
And the 158 High Street we just talked about.
Yep.
Yeah, good job cleaning off the list. Nice work.
Yeah. We've had a bunch of things that have kind of reared their head here in the last couple of weeks, but it hasn't been HDC stuff. We've had a lot of typical occupancy stuff and occupancy conditions and stuff that, especially with this weather, a lot of houses that are now or not. If you're going to find out that your house is not weather tight, it's these recent weather conditions that are going to expose that. And so there's been some stuff we've been dealing with that.
And what is that? I mean, just from a educational point of view, not a HDC point of view, what is that?
Just leaking roofs.
Does that relate to zoning? Does that relate to
It does. It's zoning building. You
Are
know,
these like recent roofs that were done are leaking or old roofs? That are
no,
leaking?
mostly old. It's deferred maintenance stuff that mostly on rental property
Got
or
it.
properties that are kind of you know, the occupancy is somewhat complex.
You mean,
Who's
so
there.
in some cases, the tenants have complained to the.
Yeah.
building department.
Yeah, that's mostly what it's been, is tenant stuff.
Gotcha.
So soon.
And you're financially liable, for most of those leaks, Joe.
Personally, actually, we've listed you as a personal guarantor.
That's right.
So if you leave a check on the
Thing
way
you
out.
signed-
Further questions, Ted?
Different topic.
Yeah.
Susan makes a note in the minutes that says, you know, motion adjourned, no motion made. Is that implying that you guys want a motion made?
You should.
I make a motion, we adjourn the meeting.
Right.
I'll second the emotion.
Go
I'll
ahead.
second the emotion.
We
I'll second that emotion.
We had,
That song?
we had a discussion about this a couple of years ago, and I think from a Robert's Rules of Orders, it was noted that you do not
Not
have to have
need-
a vote.
right.
On an adjournment.
Yeah,
Well,
to adjourn,
no,
you do not.
I read
need a-
about it too, but I mean, maybe confused, but it's if you adjourn on time, you don't need a motion. Since our end
But we
time-
don't have a time.
I know.
So how about,
So-
I'll
so I'm a
just
little-
stop my Robert Rules of
You
Order.
polish it up and
we'll
let me know, so
discuss
I can
this.
see it going
I
either
have
way.
an old one.
Pull
And
the
there's a
dust
newer
right off
one,
of it.
yeah.
Okay, well, the
And so-
motion's been made.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead, finish.
Can I vote against the motion?
Sure. So, I didn't mean to interrupt.
That's all right.
So, no, the motion, so we can adjourn, but we can still continue.
Yes. So the reason, and I asked that you guys take a vote on closing the public hearing is somebody makes a motion, and you second the motion, and typically after that second motion is when the discussion
Yeah,
happens
that's right.
regarding whatever the subject is. If you have an opinion that the particular public hearing should not be closed, that's the time you say it.
Yeah.
All right, so if you just assume that there's nobody in the audience that says anything and you think everybody's done, well, that might not be the case. Somebody might have a thought regarding continuing that, or it might be a problem continuing that, or they might have a question about the timeline. So there should be a motion, a second, a discussion, or the opportunity to have a discussion, and then the actual vote, just in case somebody wants to have a question about this applicant they've continued 4 times. Are they within their timeline? Or that's the time that you have a discussion about closing the public hearing. I don't mean to be real like a formality on you, but it seems like you guys are in the process of trying to kind of work things into being a little more
To tighten.
formal. Yeah. So that's all. That's why I brought it up.
30 seconds more of the meeting.
Right. And it's understood at that point that if somebody has a concern or a question or something, that's when it's discussed, is after there's a motion. So anyway, just my little 2 bits, two pieces. But you've already made a motion and closed, right?
It hasn't been voted on yet, though.
But you don't vote on adjournment. That I know.
I want to make a motion that we vote on adjournment.
Make your
I withdraw my
vote.
motion.
So if you just have a motion and a second, you're adjourned?
Yeah.
So
What if I want to
always been
discuss
my-
it? He just said.
Always been my.
Okay, I don't know, I'm learning.
Yes.
Didn't hold it long enough.
Right. Yeah. I heard he sold his movement, like he sold the